So if there's anything you should know about this story is that my journey to going to my first market was anything but straightforward. So I thought it would be easier to walk us through what happened if I explained it in chapters. So get comfortable, grab a snack, get cozy, get busy or something. Have me in the background if you want. But this is gonna be essentially how I did my first market this year. There's gonna be highs, lows, winners, losers? I don't know. We'll just have to stick around to find out. But let's get started. Chapter 1, The Optimist. So if this is one of your first time coming across my YouTube channel, hey, how you doing? I run a press-on nail business. And one of my goals this year was to go vend, get myself out there, put myself out there, be out there, wherever out there is. And I thought that would be via markets. I came up with this idea at the beginning of the year, but it was around April when I decided to get going, put pedal to the metal. That's how that saying goes. And essentially, I started looking around for markets around me. I started with 2. I got accepted into my first one around April, and both of them were going to be in May. And this was great because summertime is the best time to do a market. You're outside, you're having fun. When you're having fun, you're more likely to spend. You see my thought process here? But no, for real, I had only up until May 3rd, which was when my first market was supposed to happen. Later. And this time in between the markets happening, I was prepping, I was thinking about my presentation, the nails I'll have, the booth setup. So the state of my room is abysmal. I got everything everywhere all at once. It's embarrassing. I really shouldn't be showing you, but here we are. So I've made I'm trying to make as much nails as I can because I'm realizing I don't have as much time as I thought I did. I quite literally only have next week. So, nail check, by the way. Like, I want to wear my other fancy nails, but y'all, the French tip has a death grip on me. But anyways, this is what I have so far. They're looking good. I repeat, I do not have enough thumbs. But I am getting pretty along with the other nails. If you were to ask me my favorites, I really couldn't tell you. Maybe her. The pink one with the chrome on it. And that's my best chrome. Honestly, I thought I knew how to do chrome isolation, but honestly, I feel like it's really a hit or miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so don't ask me. Don't ask me for any videos on how to do it. Ask the internet. Ask anyone else on the internet. But for the most part, today is April 17th. Yesterday was Good Friday. For all my Christians, hey. Yeah, I'm running out of time. Time's up, eyes up, Eliza. Hamilton girls know what I'm talking about. There is so much left to do. But for the most part, I'm feeling confident. I have drastically reduced my workload. I said I was gonna make 19 sets and then make your own station. Let's be so for real right now. Let's be FFR right now. That's not happening. Not in the slightest. So, I'm going to give myself the make your own station as my main thing. And whatever sets I can make, I'll make them. But if I can't make any more than that, the world really won't end. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. At this point, I was feeling on track. Everything was fun. We were having fun. It was fun. Heavy on the fun in case you missed it. I was practicing my boot setups on the weekend, and if I wasn't doing that, I was setting up the nails or planning setting up the nails. I was doing as many nails as possible. Can't find my table cover, and I have left most things unwrapped, but I just wanted to start having a mock setup, so the closer I get to the date, I don't have to worry about really thinking too hard about how it's gonna look because I'm gonna have this down here. So whenever I want to add stuff or take away stuff, I can do it quickly. You're not seeing the full me because I look crazy. And if you've noticed, I only have like the thumb on because I had this set for the whole week and I wanted it off to get put on another set that I just made for myself. And the thumb was the only one that was not coming off. Mind you, these are sticky tabs. Anyways, now you're just gonna see how I set it up. I think I'm just gonna have, I don't know what I'm gonna have. You're just gonna see. Now, was I a bit behind? Sure, but the main point was I was doing the best that I could.
Okay, so I forgot I was supposed to film me walking into Walgreens, so you're just gonna get the aftermath.
I just need everyone to excuse how chopped my braids look right now. I know they needed to be taken out.
So I went in, I had some of the signs printed. I could have printed them at home, but that would have been a lot of ink, and theirs turned out way better than I think mine could have turned out. So I have these, the signs, and like the instructions and like whatnot. So because there's like a white border around it, I think what I'm gonna do is just cut that off. But for the most part, this is great. I love this for me. And it wasn't expensive. It was like $4 total, because I think it was 80 cents per page. And you gotta pay more for color. But I'd rather pay that than have to buy like a new cartridge of ink, which is like $50 for what reason? So I did this before I'm supposed to go to work. So now I gotta go to work. And hopefully traffic isn't bad. So yeah, I'll see you when I get home. And these are the new nails of the day. You've seen me wear these before, but I was feeling in a blue mood, and they kind of like, when I was really thinking about it, they were like blue cherry blossoms. So yeah, I'm gonna go now.
Chapter 2.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
Mentally at this phase, I guess you could say I was moving at 10. I was excited that something new was happening, but at the same time, I was nervous. You know when you like plan something so far ahead in the future, you're like, oh, this is great, I'm looking forward to it, I can't wait to do it. Then, you know, slowly time passes and you're like, oh, it's happening and it's happening now. Oh no. So that feeling kind of started to creep in. I was getting nervous. Things were getting expensive. Who knew? Having to buy a tent, having to buy a table. Thank goodness we had beach chairs. Was kind of expensive, and doing nails already is an expensive thing to begin with. And on top of this, I still had to do life. I couldn't just sit doing nails all day because that also does drain you. I had just started a new job, so I was doing that like before work, after work. It was getting exhausting, but then it happened. I girl bossed too close to the sun, and as with luck have it, I got sick. And I mean, I got something fierce. And it wasn't too long before I started to slow down, a week before the market. At least my first market, mind you. Let me clarify a few things here. There was a farmer's market I was doing first on May 3rd, and a Mother's Day market I was doing on May 11th. Back to back I'm talking about. Doing one week, a week later I'm doing the second one. So this is bad. This is bad news. Oh, yeah. So now we're a few days out. I'm having itchy throats, high fevers. I don't want to give up. I don't want to tell them I can't show up because I'm a recovering people pleaser. Why would I tell you no when I can make myself uncomfortable and still show up? But if I didn't choose to, my body forced me to. And what you're about to see was me the day of. Scrambling because I was behind. I was recovering and working. It was truly a hard time to be my mother's daughter.
So here's where I'm at. I only have this much done. I have the 9s and the 8s. I just need to put them in the box, but for the most part, I just don't have time. So unfortunately, most of them are gonna be like plain, and most of my designs are gonna be concentrated in like 5 and 6. But honestly, I did my best. I have the pre-made ones in here, and it's time for me to pack because I need to start heading over there now. Oh, so I did my best, and hopefully it still goes great. At the very least, I show up and present, you know? Yeah. All right, that's all I got.
And after that clip, I emailed the market person supervisor and I was like, I can't come. I am not doing well. I was hot. It was a hot day already. And now that the markets are over, I can look back and say, oh yeah, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have survived. I truly wouldn't have survived. So I am so glad that I did eventually force myself in a way to put myself first. And that's also going to be something I'm going to talk about. You can't push yourself to either give yourself a lot of time or be realistic about the things you can do, especially when unexpected things show up. Which for me, unexpected thing like me being sick showed up, and I was still kind of moving as business as usual, which I shouldn't have. Chapter 3, the market.
Every setback is a setup for a comeback.
Following this, I learned a bit, kinda. I still kept the second market, which was now becoming my first market because I wasn't able to go to my first market, if you're following. So I'm feeling a bit better. I'm through the worst of it essentially, but I'm still behind, very behind. I mean, the make your own set was looking sparse, or my definition of sparse. I didn't feel like I made as much as I could have, but also at the same time, I'm truly one person. There's only so much I could do. So here I am hustling, bustling, 5 days a week, because like that's mostly all the time I had left to complete everything I needed for the market. And it was mostly the nails part that I was behind on. And as you're about to see, this was me the day before, putting in that work.
It's currently 2 a.m. I just finished the last few nails on make your own set. I'm not really sure like if this is enough. So like I feel like I overmade it, but I think it should be okay. So there's that. Here's the mess I have made. So I have like 4 hours before I have to wake up again. I'm just gonna set stuff aside to make sure that it's not crazy when it's time. Proud of myself for this, and I'll see you in a couple hours. Okay, so I have put everything in the car. I'm still in Nabi, but I'll handle that when I get there. And we're getting ready to leave. It's like 7:06. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. I thought it ended at 12, but it actually ends at 2, so it's a bit longer than I thought it would be. This lighting is terrible, but I'm ready. We'll see how it goes, and I think I'll talk more when I set things up. And if I don't, my lips are ashy. And if I don't, you'll hear a voiceover. Okay, so I'll see you when I set out.
for the recap. This is basically the part where I'm gonna go over everything I learned from the market, my pros, cons, what I learned, what I would do differently, I guess, next time. But I will try and do a how to prepare for a market vlog. If anyone's interested in that, just let me know. This is gonna be like a quick run through, and I'm looking down because I have my iPad here with all my notes that I took because I'm type A and everything had to be put into a Word document before I could say it out loud. So first and foremost, the market that I did go to was the Bel Air Market, and that one was the one that happened on Mother's Day. It took place from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., which I thought it was 12 initially, but the gag was it was 2 p.m. So it was a Mother's Day market because it fell on May 11th. And my booth concept essentially was make your own set, buy a sizing kit, and I also had like a sizing station in case anyone was able to miraculously, I guess, fit standard sizes. And the booth fee that I paid for the market was $80. Now that we know that, we can get into everything, and I'll break down some of those facts later, I guess. So who was there? There were a bunch of other local people. It was like mostly, it wasn't like businesses. It was like other people who make stuff were also there. Beside me, one of them sold jewelry. The other person sold like home decor and like stickers. And across from me, they sold like Maryland specific merch, which if you know Marylanders would love a flag. The types of people who showed up, since it was Mother's Day and it was a Sunday, it was tended to be a lot of like moms and their daughters who showed up. And overall, it was a very busy market. It was the first market of the season, so everybody was there. This is the best time to say everybody and their mom was there. Everybody and their mom's mom was there, okay? How did it go? I would say it took a bit of time for me to build up momentum to get like my sales pitch going, because you can practice but you don't know what works until you get there. So I was a bit, you know, like at the beginning, because I was like still trying to figure out my like wordings of like what to say, what's important to say in like my short time, and like basically making a first impression, because I was the only, I guess you could say, beauty related vendor there. So the idea of press-on nails, like the way I sell them, like the concept of luxury press-on nails, I had to explain to everyone each time they came, which it drained me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, it drained me. I'm an introvert. I know online it doesn't seem like that, but I am in person, so my battery, I was running off fumes at the end of the day. Like it was very exhausting having to explain to each person the same thing. Like it was exciting to see it pay off because people were listening and they were receptive. They were like, oh, this is different from what you can get in stores. So, you know, they were open to hearing it. So it wasn't like it was falling on deaf ears, but it was tiring. Tired. Overall, I did make back my booth fee, which I'm so glad for. But most of it was sizing kits, which I started to run out of at some point, because if we're keeping track of the story, at what point did I mention I was making a bunch of sizing kits? Exactly, because what was I using those nails for? To do your make your own set station. And that part, I would say, bombed. One person did buy, a young girl, she did, when she came with her mom, and she loved her nails. She made them. Here they are. I took a picture and it was cute. I love that for her, and I just kind of wish more people like that too, but I get it, because it's like, if it's new, a sizing kit is like a safe entry into doing all of this. So in terms of that, I almost feel like that was like a waste of time. Like if I knew that, you know, more people were gonna be, I guess, hesitant to jump into just buying nails, then I would have just focused more on the sizing kits, because at some point I had to start making them when I was there, which when people come, then you have to stop, and then doing this tiny small nail things, it's hard. Outside hours, it's very hard. So there was that. I am glad I got to put myself out there. It was great advertising, if I do say so. Like, a lot of people took my business cards. I came with like, I'm pretty sure more than 100. I left with none. Even the emergency ones I kept in my wallet were gone. I had, till now, I need to order more off of Vistaprint because they don't live here no more. In terms of like pricing, I did feel a bit odd, because I feel like I was one of the most, like my things were the most expensively priced, like in terms of $35 for press-on nails, and like the fact that I'm not applying them was like sometimes like maybe like a turn off for some people. And so it felt like I was almost having to like in a way kind of justify the price, but it is worth it. I would say press-on nails are that price because I am, but not even just me, anyone who makes custom press-on nails, we're hand painting that. That's not like printed on like the drugstore ones. We're doing the work, we're sitting there for however many hours it takes, and it's the only difference is instead of it being on you, we show you how to properly apply them so they can last as good as a salon. But you know, it's a stigma. It's a stigma. We're tussling with years of I guess a negative perception that press-on nails have, that like they're for kids or that they don't last, they're weak, things like that, which is simply not true about custom or luxury press-on nails, as I like to call mine. I guess the specifics of who was coming to my booth, I would say women, moms and their kids, whether it was like older mom and older kid or younger mom and younger kid. But I feel like my booth did attract a lot of kids, and like I kind of noticed this like magnet effect type of thing where like when a bunch of kids would like come to my booth, it would kind of like almost, I don't want to say scare away adults, but like they weren't coming as much. Like if there was a wave of kids, like it was a wave, and like adults would like stay away because I guess then they would assume it's like kiddish stuff. And my booth did look, it looked cute. And you may be like, cute isn't bad, but I feel like in this instance it was, because it maybe sent the wrong message instead of like mature, you know? But like I mentioned, it was a younger girl who bought my make your own set. She seemed like the type of girl where like her mom and her do go out and get their nails done, so that was nice. In terms of money, which I know some of you might be interested in this part specifically, is so immediately I did sell a lot of sizing kits, which helped me make back just the booth fee. And the booth fee was $80 and I made $115, which is great. I got a little bit of profit. But in terms of what I bought to prepare for this market, it was like around $500 of things, from the booth, the business cards, the materials I was buying. So I guess if you're doing markets over time, this money should make itself back. But if you're doing a couple, you're gonna go at a loss. So like in total of everything I sold, it was these many sizing kits, these many make your own, and these many pre-made sets, which didn't do well, but I kind of expected that. So I guess like a quick pros and cons to wrap up this section, and I guess any last minute remarks that I have. The pros was it was great advertising. I think it's a good way to get yourself out there, get comfortable talking about your business, especially if you're not like used to it. It brought in like a new audience that I don't think this YouTube channel or my Instagram would have been able to capture, because sometimes you feel like you're talking into the void online. So this was nice, I like that. But now to the cons. It takes a lot of talking. Like you really have to sell, and you have to do it casually. You know, you don't like being sold at, or like it's like you need this. Like most people don't like that. And so having to find that balance of like talking enough to say what you need to say but not annoying somebody, like, okay girl, I hear you, was like a medium I was trying to find. Another point was, I guess, the audience. I feel like I'm in an area where like for example, there was one end or the other. It was either people who were like really young, like kids essentially, or it was like older women who were like, I'm not even gonna be really touching press-on nails, I'd rather just get my nails done in the salon, but cute concept, keep it up. Or kids who are like, oh, this is fun, this is cute, a little thing I can like have fun with. I'm sorry for the light changing, the sun is going down and I'm trying to speak as fast as possible so I can finish this video quickly. Yeah, I felt like the people I was looking for, the audience I was looking for, weren't here, and that's not the market's fault, that's me. And I just found out, I guess, the hard way. But overall, I was exhausted, but I was a happy, tired girl at the end of the day. And I was about to say I would do it again, but I have to do it again for the rescheduling because I missed the first one. So the one I was sick for, I got the opportunity to rebook it in August, so there should be a second market vlog coming out for that. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I have yapped your ear off. I'm gonna take a little nail break and do other crafty fun things that I like to do. For example, my junk journal. I've been doing this spread right now, and this has nothing to do with the video, and you're probably wondering why I'm showing you right now. And after all these nails I've touched, that sounds so strange, I need to return to my other roots. So yeah, but if you liked it, even if you didn't like it, please like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. Hopefully you stuck around to this point in the video. Thanks for all the support, for being here. Y'all are just girls, and I love that about you. So yeah, bye.